What's up YouTube, Capital G here letting you guys know what the heck happened at YCS Bochum 2016, and let's just go ahead and dive into it. So in my opinion, there were two huge takeaways from this event. The first was the absolutely staggering record attendance. Over 1,600 people entered this event, and that's kind of crazy because that makes this the largest YCS in European history. And I don't exactly know what is going on, but if you guys have been paying attention, like in the last 6 months, for all this talk about the downfall of Yu-Gi-Oh and how, things are going downhill, we have had record attendance at a European YCS, European Nationals, and North American Nationals just in the last 6 months alone. So I don't really know what's going on, man. Maybe there's something in the water, but these events are just having huge attendance. I mean, hell, I think that YCS Anaheim was like 1,800 players. So if you just look at the last like 4 really big events, man, we've been seeing a lot of people playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, the second thing was actually the finals, and more importantly, who actually won this event. One William Billy Break actually took it. Murica, or no, not America. Murica actually won this event, and I just gotta say, man, you Europeans, what happened? Like, you didn't protect your house. You guys had home field advantage. Actually, the finals was a very good match between two extremely good players. It was Billy Break playing Metaphors versus Joshua Smith playing Paleozoics. And Joshua Smith, which actually makes this kind of worse, is I believe he's from not just Europe, but he's from Germany. So he had everything going for him. This guy was playing basically in his backyard, and Billy Break was playing, I mean, he's a Texas boy. He's playing basically halfway around the world. I mean, he's nowhere close to, where he's from. So it was actually a great finals match. It went the distance. For all the talk about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is kind of in a coin flip format where basically whoever goes first just wins. The finals was not indicative of that. Actually, I believe that the person who opened lost 2 of those games. And guys, DankoSwag, holy Jesus. If you guys are looking for an extremely easy counter to Paleozoic, I mean, I don't think it's actually like a surprise at this point, but DankoSwag is basically a 1-card auto win against that deck. I mean, he summoned it in game 3 after Joshua Smith had opened kind of poorly. I think he had like a Dupe Frog, a Wabaku, and then like, I think it may have been a Reckless Greed or one of his, it was a Paleo card if I'm not mistaken. He summoned DankoSwag, and then the game was basically over. He was able to pendulum summon Kirin. He was able to pendulum summon Rescue Rabbit, and then at that point, the floodgates were basically open. Now, what's kind of incredible was Billy was not running a traditional version of Metaphors. I knew that he was going to play Metaphors. If you guys have been keeping up with him, I see him a lot on the House of Champions live stream and on the House of Champions channel. We pretty much know that he believes that Metaphors is the best deck, but he was actually running one with, well, can we really call it a retro deck? I hate using the term retro for a deck that hasn't even been out 6 months, but I feel like it's kind of applicable here. He was running kind of like the old engine of Cleafort Scout and Cleafort Monolith, which I still think is really good. I'm not exactly sure why people gave up on it. I think Billy was saying that it's not the stronger of the Metaphors builds, but it's the more consistent build, as opposed to like running Gofu, which is a good card. You play your Gofu and then you basically can like pop your tokens and you get advantage out of that with your Metaphors cards. And if you summon Bumbanku, I think you can make like Ignister and start spinning stuff, and like basically you can win the game off of that. But Billy did explain how he didn't like Gofu because he felt like if you draw it when you already have an established board, it's dead. If you draw it off Max C, it's pretty much just a dead card. Or if you open with like multiples, it's terrible. And he just felt like that the Cyber Dragon Infinity play was just more consistent. And honestly, when you really think about it, guys, it's like if you can open up with Cyber Dragon Infinity plus Magispector Kirin, like, isn't that, and I mean, that's kind of like an unbreakable board. I mean, unless your opponent has one of those annoying tribute like, Gamma-Soul, Lava Golem, Winged Dragon, or Ra, like, that's an extremely strong board. So I want to see if this is actually going to become a trend where maybe people are going to move towards, going back to the Cleafort engine. And what's kind of crazy is we all know that Monolith has only been printed 1 time in the Secrets of Eternity. So, I mean, I don't know, guys. The last time we saw Metaphors win a YCS and it was playing Cleafort, Monolith ended up jumping to like $100. So I'm not going to prophesize, but this bitch could go up to like $80 because it has never been reprinted. It was not a Mega Pack card. And honestly, I don't even think it's on Konami's radar to reprint Monolith. So who the hell knows when we're actually going to get this. Now, when we look at like the top 32 breakdown, I'm not exactly sure that we really learned anything new. I would say this, that it's pretty much confirmed at this point. It really does feel like we're living kind of in the 4 decks kind of being the upper echelon, those being the tier 1 of Metaphors, ABC, Paleozoic, or I like to call it Frogiozoic, and then, you know, like the totally awesome hero deck. I told you guys that this deck was going to be real. I told you guys that this deck was going to be tier 1. People told me I was dumb. They were like, you're trolling, you dummy, and I was like, oh, we'll see. And lo and behold, the deck is, I mean, it's not like a one-hit wonder. If you look at heroes and just their extremely dumb fields turn 1 of Dark Law plus, you know, totally awesome and Bahamut Shark, I feel like Kaiju just doesn't do anything to that field. If you Kaiju the Dark Law, they still have totally awesome, and if you Kaiju the totally awesome, they still have Dark Law, and if you don't kill the Bahamut, they're just going to get another one. So it's just an incredibly strong board. Although I will say this, I think maybe you can legitimately start making the argument that Paleozoic might be the strongest deck of the formats. It's a lot more explosive than I gave it credit for. If you guys want to watch the finals, I have it on my channel. Go watch the finals and watch game 1. Like, Joshua Smith just exploded he exploded all over the board, and he did it through a reckless greed, so he didn't even get a draw phase. It is an amazing deck, and Germany did hold it down, even though Murica took the title. You guys actually did dominate the top 32 with 14 players actually making day 2, which is, I mean, it's not quite half, but it's like maybe 45% or something like that. It's kind of crazy here when you look at this graph. They don't even register America. They put us under other. It's like we don't even exist, even though we ended up winning the event. It has, you know, Germany, Italy, the UK. Those are like kind of like the powerhouses in the European scene. It's like America, like, what? Now, Billy Break did say they actually gave him an interview after round 5. This isn't the interview of him winning the event. This is an interview after round 5. He said that he felt extremely confident and that his goal was to win the entire event. He said that he wanted to get his 4th YCS title, and when he wins the match, I felt extremely happy for him. I felt proud of him because you just saw the emotion on his face. Like, I'm not gonna say he cried, but it kind of looked like he cried. Like, it looked like he was so happy. I mean, when you're basically traveling across the continent, or no, excuse me, across the globe to play Yu-Gi-Oh, man, that is extremely, that's passion right there. And it's really cool because he says right here that he wanted to give shout outs to anyone who's watching, to his fans holding it down for him, shout outs to Konami, and more importantly, just one cool thing that he says, as a professional duelist, I want to do the best and take my chances. I want to make a living out of what I love to do. And just like, how could you not want the best for somebody who just has that type of passion for the game? Now, when it comes to top 8, and why I was saying that you can make a legitimate argument for Paleozoic being the best deck is it has in back-to-back YCS gotten 2nd place twice. I mean, it hasn't broke through yet, but it seems to be doing progressively better when it comes to day 2. It actually had more decks in top 8 than any other deck, more than ABC, more than Heroes, more than Metaphors, and that's kind of staggering. I mean, the deck does auto lose to things like Genzo and Denko, but we all know that it has an extremely strong grind game. It gets a lot of draw cards, or it has a lot of draw cards because it has a themed Destiny draw. It has Pot of Desires, which sometimes can, you know, fuck the deck over if you lose too many of your frogs, and it also has Reckless Greed, which, you know, is used to draw cards and then summon your Paleos at the same time. So I don't know, man. I think Paleos might be an extremely strong deck, and I knew it was going to be an annoying deck. I didn't know if it would be like one of the strongest decks in the game. I feel like other decks are pretty much just at the tier 2 point. Decks like Mermail and Blue Eyes, we kind of have to move those to tier 2. I was kind of interested to see what the 5 other decks were. I think they were classified as like other/rogue. I really just wanted to know if Dark Magician was in there. Again, it's kind of unfortunate. We are seeing that we see like PK Fire and Burning Abyss is kind of fallen off the face of the planet. Maybe that has been classified as other, maybe it didn't top, but I think that this was a really good event. I think that Konami and Europe, they obviously did a really good job on the live stream. And what do you guys think is like the big takeaway? I think the big takeaways for this event is Murica won, DankoSwag held it down in the finals, and just the record attendance. These Yu-Gi-Oh events are just having, I don't know, man, the numbers have just been extremely good, and that's positive, and that's something that I'm definitely liking about the game right now. A lot of players enjoying the game right now. So I think that's where I'm pretty much just going to end the video. Actually, no, there's one quick thing that I want to touch on. Not trying to start any drama or anything. I just want to clear something up because I don't want there being any misconception. Glasgow and House of Champions both posted where I uploaded the finals. I did my own commentary, and Glasgow said, hey, stop stealing content. And House of Champions basically co-signed. I don't understand where he kind of came off saying that I was stealing content, because I said, and I responded, I said, hey man, I have, you know, written permission from PJ Turney, and if you don't know who PJ Turney is, some of you guys are like, PJ who? Like, who the heck is that? Basically, he's a community management assistant at Konami in Europe. And if you guys don't believe me, like you think for some reason I'm just lying, this is actually my inbox on YouTube, and you can see there have been multiple messages. This was like 4 months ago, back in the summer, from the actual European YouTube channel. This is the official one. You see 12,000 subscribers. If I click the channel, it takes me to the official channel. This is actually them sending me messages telling me that what I did is perfectly fine. PJ just said, hey, look, when you do this, you just have to, you know, put all this other stuff with NAS and, you know, Takahashi, yada, yada, yada. Just basically a bunch of things that I have to do to make sure that it's on the up and up. But I have permission from this, so not exactly sure how I can literally steal their videos or steal their content when they have given me permission to post the videos. But anyways, not trying to start any drama, just trying to clear up some misconceptions. What did you guys think of the event? I think it was absolutely fantastic. And whatever you believed, or excuse me, whatever you guys thought, leave that in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.